Hello, Vineyard. Happy Wednesday. I hope this frigid nonsense is treating you well. Man, we are in that midst of the time of year that the sun just doesn't seem to want to give us very much light. Be encouraged, though. We're only 2 weeks away from the shortest day of the year, and then it's brighter every day as summer approaches in like 7 months. So be encouraged. Also, be informed. A lot of awesome is happening right now at the Vineyard. The OGs, our group of seasoned folks that are west of 60 years old, have their monthly potluck this coming Sunday right after church downstairs. We also have our Christmas Carol night coming, Thirsty Street Brewery, next Friday, the 16th of December at 7 p.m. I look forward to this each year. I can't wait to take our partying out into public. So, anyway, on Sundays throughout Advent, we're exploring what it looks like to receive the blessing of Jesus as our Advent series, but also as a lens for how we can experience the season and share it with those that don't yet know the love of the Father. This past week, we talked about peace, not as a product of something that we can create, but something that we receive when we step into relationship with Jesus. That righteousness or that right relatedness is what we saw throughout our journey in Ephesians that we traveled through this fall together. The invitation to move from death to life and the reality of God's love manifest in an invitation to know our true identity. Now, I know we talk a lot about identity, but we do that because this is the very battleground for our lives and for the lives of the people around us. If you think of insecurity as the opposite of peace, in the same way that chaos is the opposite of peace, insecurity as the opposite of peace, we can likely tie insecurity back to a deficit of relationship, where we don't know where we stand with someone or a group of someone's. That ambiguity leads to a lack of security, and it leads to sometimes a question of who we truly are. The danger of this, and the place where secular self-help has made a ton of money without providing a lot of help, is that it can cause us to turn inward, to focus on self. The problem with increasing self-focus is that it isn't the example that we have from Jesus or from anyone in Scripture that chose to live with Jesus as their center of order. And so it can't lead us to Jesus because it's not what he modeled. So security, peace, comes from our identity as a chosen child of God. And when this is known, relational chaos with others doesn't seem to land in the same way that it once did. It's from this place that we can operate in our identity, and from a place of peace and security, be secure in the reality that we are loved, that we're chosen, but also that we're released to do the stuff that Jesus did. And that brings me to the point that I want to talk about this morning. As we use insecurity as a measure of where we might need the peace of God, we can look for the same in the others that are around us in the time between the Sundays. Now, we started to end our time together on Sundays with a call and response that was written by Larry Sevra. And as a part of that, we collectively asked God to release us to cast out demons, speak in new tongues, tread into the dangerous places, and pray for the sick and see them healed. When we mean this as well as say it, when we step into this work, one of the peoples that we see healed is often ourselves. When we get to work in the family business, we see the Father working in lives around us. We feel him working in ours as well. Peace comes from security. Peace comes when security is felt, when we see captives released, when we see oppression end, and others find the reality as a masterpiece of God. We see peace not only in ourselves, but in those around us. This leads us to the next week of Advent. When we see peace experienced, it leads us to the next week of Advent, which is joy, which is coming this Sunday. So, receive the blessing of peace and pass it on in the time between the Sundays, and be ready for the joy that comes when this is happening. Also, would you please pray for me? Know that I'm praying for you. I will see you on Sunday.